Hello dear friends and welcome back to Science 2. We have already finished with Darwin's theory of natural selection. So in this video we are going to learn about what is meant by Lamarckism. So Jean-Baptiste Lamarck had proposed that morphological changes occurring in living organisms are responsible for evolution, and the reason behind those morphological changes is activities or laziness of that organism. According to him, he says that whatever morphological changes are occurring, that is only those changes are only responsible for evolution. And how these morphological changes are occurring, it's just because either they have used their organs or whatever characters they have, or maybe they have not used at all. So if they have used, that means there is modification becoming in that particular organ. But if they do not use that, then it might be lost from the body. Like for example, we have already studied about some of the vestigial organs in the previous video. Fine. So therefore, since some of the organs may be used or maybe not used, he said he gave this concept name as the principle of use or disuse of organs. So please remember this principle of use or disuse of organs. Fine. Now further he said, you can see in this picture that I have placed a picture of a giraffe, which is there in your textbook also. You can see, according to him, he says that giraffe earlier had a shorter neck, but due to browsing on leaves of the tall trees, okay, the neck of the giraffe became long, or the neck of the giraffe extended because of the browsing on the leaves of the tall trees. Fine. So similarly, the shoulders of the ironsmith, according to him, he says that when the ironsmith, the work of ironsmith is to hammer the iron. Okay, so it is a very it requires a lot of energy and lot of strength to hammer the iron. So according to him, he says that because he was continuously hammering, because of continuous hammering movements, his shoulders became strong. Fine. Then next he adds that wings of the birds like ostrich and emu have become weak due to no use. Now you might be knowing that ostrich or emu doesn't fly. That means why they are not due to not flying, their wings must have perished, or they are sorry, not perished, their wings have become very weak. Next he adds that now legs of the birds like swan and duck have become useful for swimming due to living in water. Fine. Actually they are birds, but that they are found mostly in the water swimming. So because of that, since they are using their legs for swimming, they have longer legs. Fine. Then snakes have lost their legs by modifications in their body for burrowing habit. Snakes are mostly living inside the soil and burrowing inside the soil. So due to that burrowing habit, they must have lost their legs. So these are some of the modifications which are shown by various organisms. Either they are using them or maybe they are not using them. Like for example, in the case of ostrich and emu, they are not using their wings, and therefore their wings have become weak. Whereas actually snake belongs to a reptile. So most of the reptiles have shorter limbs, but snake do not have limbs at all. So since it is not using it, that means it is a disuse of organ, and the modification is no legs at all. Fine. Whereas the duck and the swan, in these two cases, they are using them for swimming in the water, and therefore they have developed stronger legs. Like a giraffe have developed a longer neck. So these are some of the useful modifications which is seen in all these characters. So this has led to some evolution in these organisms. Now all these examples are types of acquired characters. That means they have acquired for a longer period of time because of the use or maybe because of the disuse at all. Fine. So they have whatever characters they have got, they have acquired them. So these says that these are types of acquired characters, and these acquired characters are only transferred from one generation to the other according to him. So this is also called as the theory of inheritance of acquired characters, or also called as Lamarckism, since they have inherited these acquired characters once upon a time. So it is also called as theory of inheritance of acquired characters, or Lamarckism. Fine. So developments of organs due to specific activities or their degeneration due to no use at all was widely accepted, but transfer of those character from generation to generation was rejected, because you have already studied that the evolution can be based on a genetic mutations. If there are mutations only in a particular organism, they might be carried forward, but not due to acquired activities or acquired characters. It may not be passed from generation to generation. So it was rejected because of it. Because it had been verified many times that modifications brought in us are not transferred to next generation, those modifications are not transferred to next generation. Thereby, Lamarck's theory was disproved. So since it was proved, it was verified many times that modifications, whatever are brought within us, are just because of the heredity and not because of the acquired modifications in the acquired characters. Fine. So the living organisms can transfer the character which it has acquired to the next generation. This is called as ancestry of acquired characters. Now let us see who was scientist Jean-Baptiste. So he is here, his photo I have placed here. So Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was born in the year 1744 and died in the year 1829. So Lamarck proposed that the activities of the organisms are responsible for their evolution. So just now I have explained about this. Fine. Then this French naturalist. Now remember, Darwin was an English biologist, whereas Lamarck was French naturalist. He proposed that each animal or plant undergoes some changes in its lifespan, and those changes are transferred to the next generation, and such changes occur in next subsequent generations too. Fine. So this is regarding Jean-Baptiste. The next video you are going to learn about how was the evolution of human beings. So till then, thank you.